Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. My name is Utsav Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. Israel has agreed to a 3-day humanitarian pause in Gaza starting Sunday. According to the World Health Organization, Israel has agreed to pause the war for a polio vaccination drive in the war-torn strip. The WHO aims to vaccinate 640,000 children in this drive. The pause in the Israel-Hamas war follows the first case of polio in Gaza in 25 years. After agreeing to pause the fighting in Gaza for the polio vaccination drive, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that the series of 3-day pauses were not a ceasefire. He also refuted media reports that said that Israel was preparing for a generalized humanitarian truce. Israel's opposition leader and former Prime Minister Yair Lapid has accused Netanyahu of ignoring the warning signs of the October 7th Hamas attack. Lapid said that Netanyahu's military secretary had warned him about things heating up on various fronts in August last year. Lapid made this accusation while appearing before an inquiry commission in Tel Aviv. Netanyahu's Likud party has denied Lapid's claims. Meanwhile, the Israeli army has continued its raids in the occupied West Bank city of Jenin. Smoke could be seen rising in the sky this morning. The Israeli military's operation started on Wednesday. Hundreds of troops, backed by helicopters and drones, have been raiding the occupied West Bank since. It's one of the largest assaults in the territory in months. The U.S. Democratic Party's presidential candidate, Kamala Harris, gave her first interview since winning her nomination. It was a joint interview with her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Harris vowed to crack down on illegal immigration. She also voiced support for oil and gas fracking. Harris had called for a ban on fracking in the year 2019. During the interview, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris also criticized her main opponent, Donald Trump. Harris said that Americans are ready to move beyond Trump. She accused Trump of weakening America's character and dividing the nation. Meanwhile, the U.S. Republican Party's presidential candidate Donald Trump slammed Kamala Harris's interview. He called the interview boring and called Harris the greatest flip-flopper. He also mocked Harris for not doing the interview alone. Donald Trump has promised to cover in vitro fertilization or IVF treatment costs if he's re-elected as president. Trump said that the U.S. government or insurance companies will pay for IVF treatments. Trump said that he would also push for tax reductions for new parents over major newborn expenses. Currently, insurance companies in the U.S. are not obliged to fund IVF treatments, which can cost up thousands of dollars. Telegram CEO Pavel Durov is reportedly facing an investigation for alleged acts of violence against his son. The probe focuses on incidents involving Durov's youngest son, who's currently living in Switzerland with his mother, Irina Bolgar. Durov's former partner Bolgar filed a case against him in Geneva last year, alleging multiple instances of violence. The latest accusation follows the Telegram CEO's arrest in France last week for failing to curb illegal content on his app. New Zealand's Maori king, Tuheitia, passed away at the age of 69. He was in a hospital recovering from a heart surgery. The news of his death comes just days after his 18th coronation anniversary. In New Zealand, monarchs have no judicial or legal authority. Their role is largely ceremonial. Pakistan has formally invited India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization or SCO meeting in Islamabad. The SCO member states' heads of government are scheduled to meet in October. India is yet to respond to the invitation as tensions between the two nations over cross-border terrorism remain fraught. India has repeatedly stated that terror and talks cannot go hand in hand. The Taiwanese Defense Ministry said that it detected 25 Chinese military aircraft around its territory in the last 24 hours. Taiwan also tracked 9 Chinese naval ships operating around the territory. The Taiwanese ministry says that 17 Chinese aircraft crossed the median line in the Taiwan Strait. In response, Taiwan mobilized its jets, naval vessels, and coastal missile systems to counter any potential threat. In climate news, incessant rainfall has led to severe floods in the Indian state of Gujarat. At least 32 people have died. Nearly 24,000 people have been shifted to shelter camps. Weather authorities have predicted more heavy rain in Gujarat's Kutch and Saurashtra regions. In the Pakistani city of Karachi, weather officials have predicted heavy rainfall for the next few days. The city's mayor, Murtaza Wahab, warned citizens against unnecessary movement. He made the warning via social media. He added that heavy rain has been forecast with strong winds in the region. According to weather officials, the rain in Karachi is expected to continue till at least August 31st. Typhoon Shanshan has hit the southwest regions of Japan. At least 6 people have died and several others have sustained injuries. After battering Kyushu Island, the storm is expected to approach the central and eastern regions of Japan. At least 200 houses have been damaged in the coastal city of Miyazaki. Authorities have issued evacuation orders for over 4 million people. The severe weather conditions also led to the cancellation of flights and trains in Japan's capital, Tokyo. In the West African country of Nigeria, at least 179 people have died so far due to floods. According to government officials, nearly 200,000 people have been displaced from various parts of the country. Nigeria's northern region is the worst hit. The floods also washed away over 25,000 hectares of farmland. A major forest fire broke out in the Loja province of southern Ecuador. The raging fire burnt nearly 4,000 hectares of pine forest. Local authorities have made it public that at least 3 people sustained injuries and 14 families were evacuated. Efforts to douse the raging fire are underway. A massive wildfire has broken out once again near the Croatian city of Split. At least 300 firefighters have been deployed to contain the fire. The forest fire has torched about 700 hectares of land. The wildfire was earlier contained, but it flared up again due to strong winds. Wildfires continue to rage near the Bolivian city of Santa Cruz. This year, the nation has recorded the largest number of wildfires in 14 years. So far, the country has registered nearly 37,000 wildfires that have torched at least 3 million hectares of land. A Dutch tourist has been found dead on the Greek island of Samos. She died due to a severe heat wave. The woman has been missing since August 22nd. So far, at least 7 tourists have died due to soaring temperatures. Meanwhile, Greek health authorities have advised people to avoid stepping out of their homes. On to business and tech news. The US economy expanded at a faster pace in the second quarter than earlier estimates had suggested. The revised gross domestic product data shows that the US economy grew by 3% between April and June this year. The US government had earlier estimated that the economy grew by 2.8%. Washington says that the update primarily reflects stronger consumer spending. However, the latest data shows that both private investment and government spending slowed down in the second quarter. The Indian stock market opened at a record high today. The Sensex rose by over 300 points to reach 82,637 at the opening bell. Meanwhile, Nifty crossed 25,200 for the first time. During intraday trade, both indices were trading at over 0.2%. The standoff between Brazil's Supreme Court and the American billionaire Elon Musk has intensified. The court has ordered the freezing of the Brazilian assets of Musk's satellite firm Starlink. Starlink says that this has halted all of its financial transactions there. This new move comes after Brazil's Supreme Court had threatened to suspend Musk's social media firm X. Meanwhile, a US court has dismissed a case against Elon Musk and his electric vehicle firm Tesla. The case was related to the cryptocurrency Dogecoin. Investors had alleged that Musk praised Dogecoin publicly to drive up its price, and then he let it crash. They claimed that Musk's actions led to billions of dollars in losses. However, the court ruled that Musk's posts and statements on Dogecoin were aspirational and not factual. Automaker General Motors could face a class action lawsuit in the US. This comes after a court ruled that the firm violated the laws of 26 American states. General Motors has been accused of deliberately selling cars with faulty transmissions. Car models like the Cadillac, Chevrolet, and GMC use these faulty transmissions, apparently. According to a report, a US government agency funded research for over 1,000 patents by Chinese inventors. The report cites data from the US Patent and Trademark Office. It shows that since 2010, the US has granted research funds for 1,020 patents that had at least one Chinese inventor. The grants came from agencies like the Department of Defense and the Department of Energy and NASA. Indian quick commerce platform Zepto has raised over $1 billion in the last 2 months. The 3-year-old startup secured $665 million from investors in June. The firm raised about $340 million in August. Fundraisers were led by investors like General Catalyst, Dragon Fund, and Stepstone. Zepto was valued at $5 billion in the latest round of funding. American personal computer maker Dell has reported a 9% jump in its second quarter revenue. The firm earned over $22.9 billion between April and June this year. The strong earnings were led by a sharp rise in the server sales during the quarter. Dell makes servers that can handle artificial intelligence workloads. These servers are powered by NVIDIA chips. Meanwhile, NVIDIA and Apple are reportedly in talks to invest in artificial intelligence startup OpenAI. This comes after it was reported that the firm is looking to raise funds. The latest funding round is expected to push OpenAI's market value to over $100 billion. Meanwhile, OpenAI's chatbot, ChatGPT, has achieved a new milestone. The firm says that ChatGPT now has over 200 million weekly active users. ChatGPT has doubled its active users in just 9 months. In November last year, ChatGPT had over 100 million weekly active users. Moving to sports news, we'll start with cricket. The hosts England closed at 358 for 7 on day 1 of their second test against Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka won the toss and chose to field first. England struggled early on and lost 4 wickets for 130 runs. The momentum shifted with former captain Joe Root's performance. He scored an impressive 143 runs off 206 balls. England already lead the three-match test series against Sri Lanka 1-0. Joe Root matched English cricket legend Alastair Cook's record of 33 test centuries. He reached the milestone after scoring 100 off 162 balls, including 13 fours against Sri Lanka. Root secured his century with a boundary of Sri Lankan fast bowler Lahiru Kumara. The achievement occurred on the first day of the second test against Sri Lanka at Lord's. Rashid Khan has been sidelined from Afghanistan's preliminary squad for the one-off test against New Zealand. This is due to a back injury. The injury occurred while Khan was playing for Afghanistan's domestic cricket league last month. The leg spinner last played Test cricket in March 2021. Afghanistan have started training in India's Greater Noida for the Test match against New Zealand that's coming up. In football, Cristiano Ronaldo was honoured at the UEFA Champions League 2024-25 draw ceremony in Monaco. Ronaldo received an award for being the all-time top scorer in the Champions League with 141 goals. His goals came during stints with Manchester United, Real Madrid and Juventus. UEFA's president presented the award, acknowledging Ronaldo's extraordinary legacy. Liverpool will face champions Real Madrid in the expanded 36-team Champions League format. The draw also includes a rematch of last year's final between Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid, and Manchester City against Paris Saint-Germain. The teams will play 8 fixtures in the new league phase, replacing the traditional group stage. The fixture dates and times will be announced on August 31st. Manchester United's Mason Mount is out for a few games due to a minor muscle injury. Other injured players also include Rasmus Højlund, Luke Shaw and Victor Lindelof. Mount got injured during last weekend's 2-1 loss against Brighton. In tennis, men's world number 1 Jannik Sinner is through to the third round at the US Open. The Italian downed American Alex Michelson 6-4, 6-0, 6-2 in straight sets. Up next for Sinner is the Australian Christopher O'Connell. Meanwhile, the tennis men's world number 3, Carlos Alcaraz, has suffered a shock defeat at the US Open. The Spaniard was stunned by Botic van der Hope of the Netherlands. Alcaraz lost against the Dutchman 1-6, 5-6, 4-6. This is also Alcaraz's earliest loss at any major tournament since the 2021 Wimbledon. In the men's doubles, Indo-Australian pair Rohan Bopanna and Matthew Ebden snapped a 3-match losing streak at the US Open. They defeated the Dutchmen Sander Arons and Robin Haas 6-3, 7-5 in just 64 minutes. The win secured their spot in the second round. Bopanna and Ebden will next face the Austrian-Dutch duo Alexander Erler and Matwé Middelkoop. Zakia Kodadadi became the first refugee Paralympic team athlete to win a medal at the Paris Paralympics. She won bronze in the women's 47-kilogram taekwondo category by defeating her Turkish counterpart. Kodadadi was born without one forearm and began taekwondo secretly at the age of 11 in Afghanistan. She was blocked from competing by the Taliban's rise and was later evacuated. In entertainment news, Marvel Studios is celebrating 85 years of its legacy. To mark the occasion, the studio shared glimpses from its upcoming projects. They released a video which shows a sneak peek of the films Thunderbolt, Captain America: Brave New World, and Daredevil: Born Again. It also featured the voice of the late Stan Lee. The first look of the most awaited film, Jurassic World Rebirth, has been released. It stars Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey and Mahershala Ali in lead roles. Johansson takes on a mission to extract the DNA of the 3 dinosaur species alive on Earth. The film will hit theaters on the 2nd of July next year. Barry Keoghan has been added to the cast of the Peaky Blinders film under development at Netflix. He will star opposite Cillian Murphy and Rebecca Ferguson. Netflix greenlighted the film in June this year. The makers of Wizards Beyond Waverly Place have set its premiere date. The series will premiere the first 2 episodes on the 29th of October this year. The 8-episode series will then go live the next day on the Disney Channel and Disney+. Selena Gomez and David Henry are reprising their roles from the 2007 series. A docuseries on the former CEO of WWE, Vince McMahon, will stream on Netflix. It'll debut on the 25th of September. The series will have 6 one-hour episodes. The show will take viewers through McMahon's journey of turning WWE from a regional business into a global entertainment phenomenon. Hollywood star Angelina Jolie says that she feels terribly nervous about playing the role of Maria Callas in the singer's biopic. She revealed that she practiced for almost 7 months to sing opera for the film. The movie reimagines the story of the opera singer Callas during her final days in the 1970s in Paris. Euphoria star Barbie Ferreira will lead the upcoming romantic comedy film Mile End Kicks. The film's production is currently underway in the Canadian city of Montreal. The story follows the life of a music critic who moves to Montreal to write a book. The release date is yet to be announced. The rock band Oasis have decided to perform extra shows in the UK during their reunion tour. They have added 3 dates to their global tour. The additional shows will be held in Manchester, London and Edinburgh. The tickets are not up for sale yet though. American singer and actor Becky G will release her album Encuentros in October this year. It'll be the artist's 4th studio album. She's also pumped up about her upcoming concert tour across America, which starts in Chicago. Actor Julian Ortega has passed away at the age of 41. According to reports, the actor died after collapsing at the beach. He reportedly went into cardiac arrest. The actor is survived by his parents. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching and stay tuned to First Post.
Again! He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here today.
Hello and welcome to First Sports. I'm Rupa Ramani. Let's get started. Right on the show today, Indian cricketer KL Rahul